Good day, subscribers. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am Levi. This is the Cybersecurity Education channel. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day today. Today we're going to be talking about Office 365 email scams. I'm going to be taking you through a series of email scams that I've seen in my various organizations and ones I have seen online from other people, and kind of talking about things that you can look for to help prevent your Office 365 account from being taken over, so that you don't have data loss from your OneDrive, from your Outlook, for your Outlook or email, and any type of Office 365 application that you have. This video will be really important to you because in the organizations that I've worked for, I've seen it really prevalent that there's these fake login emails that keep coming out to users. Where it wants them to click a button to send a file in OneDrive or like open an attachment, and then it makes them sign in or something like that. And you put your login credentials in that page after you click on it. They hijack your account, and then they get in your email and can see all your stuff in OneDrive. They can send out spam emails to other people, and it's just a bunch of bad stuff. So we're gonna go through a bunch of emails here, and I'll show you what things to look for inside of these type of emails to help protect yourself. All right, so the first thing I want to discuss here is an article from Microsoft that talks about phishing and how you can protect yourself. I kind of want to go over some key points here before we look through these emails. And as always, I'll post the link down in the description below so that you can go to this page if you want to read more about it. So down in the awareness section on the page, it talks about several telltale signs of a phishing scam. The links or URLs provided in the emails are not pointing to the correct location or are attempting to have you access a third-party site that is not affiliated with the sender of the email. For example, in the image below, the URL provided does not match the URL that you'll be taken to. Me personally, in the organizations I've worked for, I've seen this one quite a bit, where if you go and hover over a link, you'll see that it goes to a different place than what the link actually says. That's one of the first things that you should be looking for before you ever click on a link inside of an email. The next one, there's a request for personal information such as social security numbers, bank or financial information, and then generally it goes on to talk about officially communications generally won't request personal information from you in the form of email. So yeah, you really shouldn't be getting social security numbers and financial and bank information in email anyway. That should be through a more secure method. So if you are getting information like this, you should probably talk to your IT in your department and get something worked out to do this differently. So the message is unexpected or unsolicited. So if you're getting an email from a person or an entity that you really deal with, then it's probably not legit. You know, I tell my users this all the time in my organizations. Don't click on a link from an email that somebody sent that you don't know. I mean, just delete it at that point. That or ask somebody. Any type of message that asks you to enable micro, adjust security settings, or install applications. Most of the time when people's systems get compromised, they click on an attachment or something, and then it turns on a macro that does tasks in the background that hijack their system or accounts. And same with installing applications, that they'll do the same thing. So you really don't want to do those. If the message has errors in it, it's probably not legit either. I mean, look for typos and stuff like that. The sender address does not match the signature on the message itself. For example, an email is purported to be from Mary of Contos Corp, but the sender address is john@example.com. I've seen this one before too. I've actually seen, and this one fairly recently, where somebody in the company had an email sent to themselves. It said it was from their name, but the ending of it was completely different. So there are multiple recipients in the to field, and they appear to be random addresses. Corporate messages are normally sent directly to individual recipients. I've seen this recently where everybody in the organization got sent an email to open a random link. Like, if you see that, like, be extra cautious. If something is being sent to all users, you really want to follow these other steps and make sure that you're doing the things that you need to do to make sure this email is legit. You might even want to ask the supervisor higher up and say, hey, was this email actually supposed to come to me before you open it? The greeting of the message does not personally address you. This is a big one, especially if you work in a very formal organization. The website looks familiar, but there are inconsistencies or things that are not quite right, such as outdated logos, typos, or ask users to give additional information that is not asked by legitimate sign-in websites. So a lot of times when you click on the link in those fake emails, it'll bring you to like a fake login, and everything looks pretty close, but like it's a little bit off, right? And so if you see things a little bit off on the page, that should automatically make you question whether the page is legit or not. The page that opens is not a live page, but is rather an image that is designed to look like a site that you're familiar with. A pop-up may appear that requests credentials. I've seen this one before too. A lot of times they'll put like an image inside of there, and then a pop-up comes up, and you actually put your credentials in the pop-up and not the actual page. So yeah, these are kind of some things that you need to look for. So now to the fun part. We're going to be going through some emails, and I'll tell you some things to check for inside of these email examples. All right, so I pulled these emails from onetech.com. I'll post a link down below in the description so you guys can take a look at this page yourself if you want to. So we got example 1 here. Your account will be closed and deleted. I see emails like this quite a bit when we get these types of emails. Basically, it freaks people out.
They're like, oh my God, I need to click on this button, because if I don't click this button, Levi, my account's gonna get closed down, and I don't want my account to get closed down. Like, I won't be able to do my job, or I won't be able to do what I want to do, right?
So you get scared. They take advantage of the scared factor that you have to do something right away, and usually people click on it, and then they'll type in their information and not even realize that their account was just hijacked, right? So on that specific email, a lot of times if you just hover over that verify immediately button, or whatever type of button it is, you can tell that the link is pointing to something that's not like a Microsoft related website. Also, anytime where you get an email where it's like you need to do something right away, that's a psychology factor. You should really be thinking in your mind, hey, do I really need to do this right away? I should ask the supervisor, or ask IT about it, So that's kind of one of the first ones. Example number 2 here. Another one where it's talking where you need to do this in 3 days, or your account's gonna get shut down, right? All right. So the number one thing that you can tell what's wrong with this one is it's from Office Security with the 0 that's spelt wrong, right? And then the mail to you address, tcmwong@tonline.day. Like, what the heck is that, right? So that's a red flag right there. And then once again, like, if that wasn't enough to trigger you off, you can tell if you hover over the link, you'd probably be able to tell that it goes to some random spam thing, right? And then the subject line, like, office is spelt wrong, obviously. Office isn't spelt with a 0. And then they're using urgency to try to get you to complete the task as fast as possible again, too. Option number 3, this one's pretty obvious that it's a scam. You can tell that there's a bunch of errors on the page, and like, it's just stuff that the average person, like, why would you click on these links for? This one, it talks about, we talked about error messages before. If you get any type of error messages, don't click on the links in those. Like, forward that to your IT department. You wouldn't be able to fix, most of the time you're not going to be able to fix the errors yourself anyway, so don't even bother clicking on the links unless IT tells you to do it. And example number 4 here. This one's pretty legit looking because it's got the Office 365 icon in it, right? But number 1, just from looking at the from here, Office 365 is spelled wrong. It should be uppercase. And then the mail to address is some random thing that's not even a Microsoft address, right? So that nails that one out pretty fast. The to line, you can't even see that it's who it's to. It's probably to a big group of people. So that kind of gives that away. It's using the sense of urgency again, where it's telling you your mailbox will be shut down to verify your account. So you need to do something right away, right now. And then obviously if you clicked over on that verify now button, and hovered over it, you would be able to see that the link is wrong. At the end of the last sentence, you can tell that verify has an extra space between the period, which if they were sending this out as a mass email to people that had issues, they would probably have everything spelled right to make them look good, right? because it would look bad if they had a misspelling in an email that's sent out to a mass number of users. So this one's a little tricky because I know like a lot of people in their environments, they'll get like emails that have spam where they have to click on a link in their email to release spam messages. I don't know that Office 365 ever does anything like this. So your biggest defense here is looking at where it's from. Like you see, it's not a Microsoft address. Here's some emails from organizations that I've worked for, with certain details blurred out just for their privacy, respect for my organizations. So this first one, you know, if you're using OneDrive and you send out a link to somebody, this looks pretty legit, right? I mean, it looks very similar. The funny thing is though, you look at this one and they add in this message was sent with high importance. That's just pretty much an image. It's another urgency thing where they want you to click on that right away, you know, like, and not think about it. You can't see the from part because I bleeped it out, but it bleeped it out because they tried to use our company information inside of there to make it look legit, but like I kept the last part. It's online.day, like so that in itself gave it away. You can tell that there's misspellings inside of there. Honestly, if they just would have took out that here the document was shared with you part above like the image area where this link will work for everybody, asset allocation, I think a lot more people would have fell for this one. But that misspelling really kind of gave that one away. But if you look at a normal OneDrive, if you look at a normal email that's shared via OneDrive, like it looks very similar to this. So if somebody's opening it up on a mobile device or they're half asleep or whatnot, they might just go ahead and click on that because they're like, oh yeah, asset allocation. So I really want to point out on this one, if you're receiving like lots of OneDrive shares and stuff like that, before you open it every time, always hover over that open link and make sure it's actually going to a OneDrive site and not like some random thing like online.day or something like that. And you pretty much got to do this every time because these emails look so legit now. These fake emails are starting to look more and more legit. This person did a bad job. If it was me, I just would have put in the asset allocation, that little image part, and that probably would have gotten people a lot more. I don't think they really needed the urgency part in there. As long as they got, you know, for the PDF title, as long as they got something that matched like what the person would be looking for. So if they're targeting like a CEO or something like that, and they put like financial report or something in there, that would probably get enough for a lot of them to open it. All right, so we get on to the next one. I bleeped out the first part of the from here too, just because it contained private information I don't want in this video. But you can see the email address here. It's actually from a legit company at stateelectriccorp.com. I'm guessing one of their accounts got compromised there. Because if you go and do a Google search on them, you can see their legit website. So I'm guessing one of their people probably fell for something like this and it was spamming it out to everybody else, just to random people. So yeah, that subject line was a giveaway because the organization never receives anything from that company. Here's a great line inside of this email. It has a green section right there that says this email is from a trusted source. Just seeing that alone, a lot of people would probably be like, oh, this email is legit, because I think Microsoft has a functionality inside of an Outlook that will do that. A lot of people think that this email is legit just seeing that, even though it's just an image that's inside of there, right? And then, you know, big bold letters, mandatory account review process, like, you better go and click on this confirm now or your account's going to be deleted, right? Like, you don't want to lose access to your stuff at work, you better click on that link. So once again, the main defense is to hover over that confirm now, and you would see that's going to a completely random site that's not a Microsoft site or anything related to your organization that you're working for. And then the last one I want to point out here, I bleeped out a lot of this because I had personal information relating to our company inside of here. So basically this one got sent out to the whole organization. You can see from the 2 box it's empty, so it went to everybody. And a bunch of people clicked on this, and like most of the people on our site would have never known this person because this person was at a different site. So, I mean, that's a dead giveaway itself, you know, in the defense mechanisms part that we talked about. If you're receiving an email from somebody that you're not expecting to receive it from, don't even mess with it. And then the fact you've seen that came to all users, so that's even more suspicious. And then when you hover over this link, it'll tell you, hey, this is not going to a Microsoft website or anything like that. So those are kind of some examples of Office 365 phishing emails that you'll see. I mean, you'll see that you see a wide variety of them that try to get you to open up a link and then type in your login information so they can hijack your account and do whatever they want with it. They can send more spam out to other people with links like that. Or they can go in your OneDrive and steal all your data, and steal all your emails and stuff like that. So when you're opening up Office 365 email or any other type of email, you know, you really want to make sure to go through all those steps that we talked about in that Microsoft article to protect yourself. I would say the main key ones are, make sure if there's urgency in an email that you kind of avoid the urgency. Throw that out the window. If you're being asked to do something right away, most of the time you don't need to do it right away, like for the IT department. And if you do contact the IT department, make sure it's legit, right? Make sure that you actually do need to do it right away. And then look at the from line. Make sure that person's legit inside of your company. Make sure that the person is something that you're expecting to receive something from, right? Always hover over links inside of an email. It doesn't matter what it is. Never click on a link when you don't know where it's going, right? Always hover over it. You know, an even better practice for that is maybe to copy and paste the link that's showing and put that in your browser manually instead of clicking on the link, right? And then yeah, just being aware on every time you get an email, like always going through those steps inside of your head, like no matter what type of email content you get, so that way you're always protected, right? So that's kind of my information for you guys about protecting yourself in Office 365 email scams and pretty much any email scam in general. This video just happened to be targeted more towards like the Office 365 looking emails that you get. I hope you guys really enjoyed this content. If you like this content, click the like button and click the subscribe button. By watching this content and future content and previous content, you're getting information from someone that has experience in IT for the last 11 years. It's from somebody that has their CompTIA Security Plus certificate, somebody that has a computer science background. If you keep watching these videos and watching previous videos, you'll see tips and tricks and training moments like this video. You'll see cybersecurity news videos about cybersecurity and how it relates to you and how you can protect yourself from those events. And then you'll also see cybersecurity labs, where I'll take a cybersecurity concept that somebody's not following and show you what can happen if you don't follow it. Thank you for watching, guys. I hope you guys really enjoyed this content. Have a wonderful day.